welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we pick a movie and discuss it every week, just like a book club. On today's show, we are covering the classic film noir, The Maltese Falcon. Our thoughts and more coming up on Movie Club. Released in 1941, The Maltese Falcon was directed by John Huston and stars Humphrey Bogart, Sidney Greenstreet, and Peter Lorre. A private detective takes on a case that involves him with three eccentric criminals, a beautiful liar, and their quest for a priceless statuette. The film currently has a 3.9 out of 5 on Letterboxd. The film was nominated for 3 Academy Awards, including Best Writing/Screenplay for John Huston, Best Actor in a Supporting Role for Sidney Greenstreet, and Best Picture. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for the movie. We're going to ruin everything that happens in this movie, so don't get mad at us for doing that. Go ahead and watch it and then come back. But stay tuned to find out what movie we're covering next week, because oh boy, is it one that I've been excited for watch for a while. Alrighty, Kevin, Maltese Falcon's here this week, and it was your pick. Why'd you pick it?
I heard nothing but not good things about it, but it was like a film that kind of started the noir scene and had a really big exposure to noir, and then we got so many movies that were based off of noir movies, and this helped not fund those movies but point them in the right direction, I feel like, and I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that's always so widely praised in the kind of the film scene, and it is pretty iconic. Not gonna lie. Especially like the actual Maltese Falcon statuette itself. When I took a tour of Warner Brothers, I actually saw one of the ones that was used in the movie, which was
cool,
really special. But this is like one of those movies that it is prototypical film noir. It's really the one that, like you said, is one of the first ones, if not the first, and really set the stage for hundreds, if not thousands, of movies that came afterward that all captured a lot of that same aesthetic and vibe, and it's really well known because of that. So
yes,
let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll let you kind of take the lead a little bit here, Kevin, because it was your first time, but let's go ahead and dive into it. What did you like? What did you not like? Where do you want to start?
Well, I wanted to start with maybe a positive, which is Bogart. He is absolutely fantastic in this movie. I love how he kind of switches sides. And while I was watching it, I couldn't tell if when he was with the criminal side, that he would side with them more than him being a detective. I thought he lost his way kind of in a little bit, and then when he eventually gets it all back together, and at the end he arrests all the people, spoiler alert, and he goes back to his older ways. I was like, okay, he didn't lose him, but while he was acting, I was like, oh no, he's going to the dark side pretty much. So I really loved that. But also with Lee Patrick, Elfie's character was really good in this as well for us as his secretary kind of a thing. And then Peter Lorre is really good as well in this, being the kind of you can't touch me because I'm kind of a criminal, kind of that aspect of it. But it's a beautiful film for being black and white as well. I feel like it gets you into places where it's very eerie and very tense situations, especially at the end.
100%, yeah, and I'm glad that you picked out the fact that this movie is gorgeous, because it really is. You know, this is film noir films have that distinction of being uniquely gorgeous for black and white, because a lot of what makes film noir is lighting and production design, right? So to see you point that out is really nice, and I love that, right? But it's also it's more than just that. It's these kind of hardened male characters, the kind of clever yet also seductive female characters. It really gives a lot of agency to female characters as well, especially for the time, which is really nice. Maybe not so much in this movie, but there are others that do it very well. Like a lot of what makes this movie really special to me are the characters. You know, they're so wonderfully like unique and I don't want to say quippy. What's the word I'm trying to think of? Like quirky. They're really quirky, right? Like particularly for me, and you pointed out Humphrey Bogart, and he's fantastic in this movie. But I love Sidney Greenstreet in this movie, who is the kind of the overweight kind of mafia boss type character, which wouldn't know it. It's his first movie.
Oh, really? No.
Oh yeah, and he
wouldn't have
commands
guessed
every
that.
scene he's in. It's fantastic. He's so much fun. The dynamic that he and Peter Lorre have are hilarious. They're kind of this. Someone on Letterboxd, Patrick Willems, who's a kind of a film YouTuber, summed this up greatly. It's, gotta love Sidney Greenstreet and Peter Lorre, a wacky duo bumbling around the world for decades, killing random people because they really want that dumb bird. Which is really what it comes down to. But like, what's also nice about this movie too is that no one's a good guy. Like there is no real good guy. It's more down to earth. It's very selfish. It's, you know, it's not. It's like most film noirs. It shines a light on the darker parts of time.
Everybody has a shadiness to them. Like like color palette intended because it's a film noir. But everybody, you can see everybody has a bad side to them in this case.
Yeah. It's literally like this whole movie and a lot of just film noirs. It's just gray area personified. Like you got characters acting within the gray zone. They're not great and they're not terrible either. They're just somewhere in between, which is really nice. And it's kind of we kind of this has like a pulpiness to it. In that, we get gray area stuff all the time now, where it's like I don't know how I feel about that person, but this is kind of like it's kind of like comic booky. It's kind of like pulp adventure-y, where it's like no one's really a good guy, but you're gonna have the one that you kind of look for. So I think it's a lot of fun. I think this movie does suffer from the fact that it does have some issues of the time.
Yes.
Like obviously this is it's don't look to this to be the most empathetic or understanding movie in the world when it comes to female or characters of color, like that kind of thing. But the only other real big critique I have is this movie's a lot of exposition. There's not a lot else besides dialogue going on here, which is not a bad thing. I'm not saying that that's inherently wrong. It's just a lot of talking, and if you're not expecting that going in, I'm sure that it can come off a little boring to some. I don't think it's boring by any means, but I can see how others would think that it is. If the rest of the movie didn't look so goddamn good, it would.
I mean, there's very little, I guess, action scenes from a
which
crime noir, but it doesn't. It's because Sam Spade, who's Bogart's character, is a detective. Private detective, so he doesn't need. He can kick ass when he wants to, but he usually likes to talk things out. And at the beginning, you really get a sense of did he actually do it? Because they're accusing him of killing his partner, because he had so many other motives. Like he was gonna leave his wife, not Spade, his partner. His wife was going to leave him for Spade and stuff like that. And it always kept you on your toes, be like, well, they did say this. Is this technically true? Kind of a situation throughout the whole entire film. So, and I really enjoyed that because I never really, again, like we said, we never really trusted anybody. But we always were on Spade's good side, and then we got to see his bad side as well. So,
really embodying the anti-hero, I think, in a way that makes it look cool, right? He's cool, calm, he's not always a good guy, but he's doing the right thing, kind of a thing.
Well, when his partner dies, and then he tells his secretary, Elfie, oh yeah, let's get all of our names off of it and just put Sam Spade. And it was like, dude, your partner just died a day ago, and you're just changing everything right on the spot. That makes you a little bit fishy that you didn't do it, kind of a situation.
But that's the whole point, right? These are not good characters. They're not, again, more grounded, more realistic, because it everyone's in the gray area. Everyone's selfish, but that's the way of the world.
Yeah,
we're all selfish. This is, in many ways, it's kind of like a dark version of pursuing the American dream, if you want to think about it that way.
The criminal way.
Some people are looking for, the criminal way. Yeah, some people are looking for the job that's going to lead them to their future, and some really want
Want
that
it now.
goddamn bird.
Yeah,
You know?
which was very interesting. You never really get to see the Maltese Falcon until the end of the movie too, which I thought I was going to be seeing a lot more during the movie.
Yeah.
But no, it's always when Bogart gets it. It's wrapped up in paper until you get to the final scene and it gets unwrapped and stuff like that. And he says a fantastic line, and I always I forget what it is. Something about dreams.
Yeah, this
Um,
is the thing that dreams are made of.
yeah, and it's like,
It's very
well, so
famous
then
line.
and I'm like, so what is it though? Why does he say it's what dreams are made of? It's just a bird, pretty much. But everybody was going after that bird to make them money, and that's what their dream was.
It's more so. It's not about really. I would say the actual
Is it the
worth of
symbol?
the item. It's more so like what it's made of. It's kind of hard to tell in the movie, but it's definitely made of like a expensive material. The
Okay.
actual line is the stuff that dreams are made of, because the cop or the other detective asks like, "Heavy, what's it made of, or what is it?"
Yeah.
So like it's also just like the perceived value, right? Because all these people are fighting over it. Like it must be worth something. So it's clearly the stuff that dreams are made of. Like everyone's gonna like people are willing to kill over it. So
But then
great line.
they never explained it either. So it makes you think like, well, why is it what dreams are made of, kind of a situation too. And then again, that makes it a noir film because it leaves you with more questions than answers too.
100%. Yeah, and which is great. Like it doesn't give you easy answers. It's just this fun, like movie that is, no one's really a good guy, but I don't know. It's perfect film noir.
It is. I will say though, I felt like it was a little long.
Definitely a tad long.
And it's an hour and 41-minute movie. If it was an hour and 30, I think it maybe would have been a little bit better.
But I don't necessarily think that it's too long. I think that because it's primarily dialogue, it can feel slower paced.
Exactly.
Which that's the key, right? Because you can have a 3-hour movie like Avatar that is almost all action and it doesn't feel like 3 hours. Or like Oppenheimer, where it is a lot of dialogue, but it's the frenetic pacing of it that makes it go so short. This definitely has some pacing issues because it's just a lot of dialogue. Not a bad thing. It's great to have dialogue. No.
Yes.
But just that it can make it feel longer than it is. Like I remember I watched this for the first time with my parents, and my parents have not seen it for like 20, 30 years or something like that. And so we were all kind of watching. We're like, that was a little slow, but really good. Like so.
It's one of those films, like if you're taking a film class or something like that, this is a great one to do with like a paper on for, again, first noir films. But
from
also
a historical perspective, sure. It doesn't like have a deeper message or anything, I would say.
But I love it's just that good. That's why I picked it, because I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Alrighty, Kevin, Maltese Falcon was your pick this week. What did you give it?
Yeah, so I really enjoyed this movie. The ambiance, the beauty of this movie, it was really fantastic. You have great characters of Bogart and basically the crime bosses of the of this movie are absolutely fantastic as well. And I will say it was very dialogue heavy, so it does drag. I don't want to say drags on, but it makes it feel longer than it is, like we talked about. But it's a very great movie, and very nostalgic because it is possibly one of the first noir movies that is out there. So I give it an 87 out of 100, which accumulates to 4 stars out of 5. Yeah.
I actually have increased my score since the first time I watched it. Actually, the first time I watched it, I gave it lower than I think I was expecting, but I've since changed. I love this movie. I think it's one of the best dramas out there, just because of how important it is to film history, to kind of be that first film noir and to set the stage for what an entire genre would become. It's a slick, stylish movie. It's got some funny moments to it. It's got some more of those like gray area anti-hero moments. Incredible performances: Humphrey Bogart, Peter Lorre, Sidney Greenstreet. Oh my God, I'm forgetting her name. Mary Astor are all fantastic here. I would just say it does have some of the kind of tendencies at the time in terms of attitudes and mindsets and stuff, but other than that, I would say it doesn't drag, but it has some pacing issues due to the fact that it's entirely dialogue, but the dialogue is so damn good that you really don't care. So for me, I gave it a 90 out of 100, which equates to 4.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. But that is going to be it for the show this week. Question now falls to you. What do you think of the Maltese Falcon? If you checked it out before this week's episode, go ahead and let us know what you think down in the comments down below. And just remember to be polite to one another, because again, it's not hard. It's really not. Next week, we're going to be covering the sci-fi film Snowpiercer, which many theorize is a prequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or a sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Maybe we'll talk about that next week. We're just messing around. But thank you so much for watching. Of course, we have our live stream that goes live every single Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this show goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So make sure you're subscribed. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.